what you didn't know about being an entrepreneur. I'm Nate, I'm the FitFutureMD, uploaded Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Pick up the free copy of the nutrition and workout guide in the description below. I'm the owner of Ensorsale. Ensorsale is family. Together we rise up from humble beginnings to inspire others all over the world with the messages on our t-shirts. Wear your inspiration today and inspire others just like Jesus inspired others when he rose from the dead. That's why, the Straight Up Risen drop is out now. Easter shirt, straight up risen. You got Jesus rising. You got the rock being rolled away from the tomb. And you got gold dripping off the letters, which is just, sick design. I hope you like it. Go check it out at Ensorsale.com. Use FitFutureMD for 20% off if you're interested. So entrepreneurship's kind of really taken off in the last few years, and I think that's where you lose a lot of manufacturing jobs that people would go into, and then you realize you either take this low $30,000 job and stay poor, or you become an entrepreneur. And a lot of people go into or trying to go into things that they love, right? And let's just talk about some truths of entrepreneurship, right? The truth in entrepreneurship is that it's not going to be successful overnight. 90% of new businesses go bankrupt or dissolve in the first 5 years, right, of their business. So that goes to show you that most businesses, even if they're making revenue, right, they go out of business in the first 5 years, right? So, that's why I really call, like when you start a business, I call it a side hustle, because it's really your job that is funding the business and your friends and family, right? So most of your orders when you first start out are basically just going to come from your friends and family. So say you have 50 friends and family, and, twice a year they order. You have to figure out a way to make the profit on those orders from friends and family into new customers that don't know who you are, right? So, and most likely you're going to do that with advertising, right? And luckily we live in a time where advertising is very cheap. Like you can run a Facebook ad for $5 a day and pretty much max out your capacity for selling things, right? So if you're working a full-time job, 8 hours a day, you might have a couple hours every day to fulfill orders. So that might be 10 to 20 orders a day that you could fulfill, right? And on your own, right? When you're first starting out. And, so if you got 200 people a day coming to your website and they all order, you're not gonna be able to fulfill those orders, right? So even when you first start out, just advertising $5 a day and getting 5 to 10 orders is pretty much your max capacity, right? And you have to level that up until, it basically replaces your full-time job, right? And, I think people think they're going to, so especially with Amazon people, like people that want to put their product on Amazon, I think they really think, I'm going to invest in this product, and you basically get lost in the shuffle on Amazon, right? Because, it's a platform that everybody goes to, but it's also a platform that has a lot of competition. Even if you have a very unique product, and you join their advertising on Amazon, like, it's still going to be difficult to make sales, and people came up with all kinds of tricks back in the day to, get 5-star reviews from your family and all that kind of thing. But even with the 5-star reviews, it doesn't mean Amazon's platform is going to push it. Amazon's going to push the things they know will sell, right, to the top of the platform, because they're not going to miss that customer because your stuff doesn't have good reviews. right? Or it doesn't have any reviews, right? But that's just a misconception that, you're gonna, come out with a t-shirt and it say a word, a brand name, right? Like I said, mine usually says Ensorsale, and that people are just gonna automatically resonate. Well, at least Ensorsale causes people to say, oh, what is Ensorsale? And then, the first 10 times that somebody asked me that, I was like, I didn't really have a good explanation for what Ensorsale really is. And Ensorsale is about, rising up, right? From the bottom to the top, right? And so I give you the skills to do that, right? You start with your health and nutrition, you go to investing, right? I give you all that stuff on this channel, right? And that's how you level up in life, right? When you get into your 30s, you're making more passive income, and it's almost your whole salary, sometimes with passive income, especially if you start at 18, say you're making $22,000, $25,000 a year at 18, and you're putting 40% of that away, by the time you're 30, you're going to be making that salary, as a dividend every year, or as a, from your investments, right? So that's just if you're a regular, a normal person that has a job, right? Now, the reason I got into business, is because I was trying to make money to go to medical school, right? Well, little do you know is that, your friends and family buy, and then it's a lot harder to get people that don't know you to buy, especially if it's just a blank shirt that says Ensorsale on it, so you got to keep that in mind, right? You got to, figure out who your customer is, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's the biggest misconception, is that you're just going to start and all of a sudden blow up. I've seen people that, have, full on television shows, their own TV, they're being picked up by streaming sites and stuff like that, and they still can't sell nothing, right? They're highly known people and they still don't sell anything, right? So, it's the brands that people use are limited, and the number of brands that have come out is infinite, right? When I started in 2016, there was nobody doing this stuff, right? So that's another thing in business, right? If something works, the market will flood that thing that works, right? So you see that now on Instagram. Everybody wants to be a coach, you got 18, 19, 20-year-old people saying, oh, I'm a coach. Well, what are you coaching? How to get through high school? How to be successful in high school? That might be a good one, to be honest. But, you could do like how to be a D1 athlete as a coach, that type thing. But, you're not going to be sitting here saying, oh, at 20 years old, oh, I'm a lifestyle coach, and, you're going to be rich in 2 years. Like, maybe you're the one, right? You might be the 1% that, you come up with an idea and it just takes off, and, and that's great. But those are few and far between. The rest of the time is a grind, right? Business is a grind, especially if it's a side hustle grind, right? I'm up at 4 a.m. every day, right? I'm making videos while I'm walking on the treadmill, right? Like actually editing them, right? I post them while I'm on the treadmill, right? Because I got an 8-hour job, and you ain't sitting there posting during an 8-hour job. So all that stuff has to be basically scheduled and posted before you go to work, right? And then on the back end, you're fulfilling orders that come in because of your advertising, because of your ability to make things known, right? Because your friends and family still support you, and you're very thankful for your friends and family, because without your friends and family, your business would have died a long time ago, right? And that's most people, right? And so I really just wanted to come up here and talk about, the truth of business. The truth of business is difficult. Being an entrepreneur is hard, all right? And it's gotten this glory thing, and when it's successful, yeah, you got the glory. You're, in the 1%, multimillionaire, but you still are, having to figure things out that normal people don't even have to mess with, right? And just because you get $1 million in revenue doesn't mean that's what your take-home pay is, right? You might get $1 million in revenue and only take home $50,000, right? Just because of your expenses and how much you had to advertise to get that $1 million in revenue. But the secret on that is, if you do a good job and you fulfill the order correctly and you get the customer's information, you can retarget them for free, or it takes a lot less to retarget them, right, to new items. Or even if they had the shirt for a year, they've been wearing it for a year, they may reorder the same shirt, just because it's got through the 52 washes and it's faded a little bit, right? So, and that's what's cool about all my stuff, is that, I wear them, right? I wear them every day. And they're going to go through at least 52 washes, in a year's time. So if I got something that's 3 years old and it still looks good, I know that my product was high quality, right? So, that was always the biggest thing for me, right? Is what is my message, right? What is my message? Is my product high quality? And, I sacrifice a little bit of speed of getting it to the customer to make sure that it's high quality, right? Because, I would rather do the inspection myself to make sure that the thing is high quality. So, and those are the principles that I live by, right? If I believe if my product's high quality, that people are going to continue to order from me. And so that's how I've lived. And I'm not, per se successful entrepreneur yet, right? I'm 6 years in, and, I made it past the five-year mark, right? So, I wasn't one of the 90% that failed in the first 5 years, right? But, I used, friends and family and my job to support my business, right? Because I believe in its cause. And I believe that people will see that the cause is more important, right? So like I said, I'm here to help you. If you have any questions, leave in the comments below. Like I say, we're helping people start their own business now. We're helping people, make websites. We're helping people with investing. If you're a normal person, we're helping people with personal finance, right? All the things the system leaves out that leaves you basically struggling. We don't want you to struggle. We want you to comment down below. We want you to send me an email, fitfuturemd@gmail.com. Let's get you right? Like, if you need help, ask for help and we'll get you right. So I'm Nate, I'm FitFutureMD. Check out the Straight Up Risen drop out now. Let's say it's, my Easter shirt, and hope you love it. It's definitely the best graphics and, stuff that I've ever had, and I hope that you enjoy it. FitFutureMD for 20% off, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.